Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Listen, the results are in, and that's your winner right there, the BFG KO2. And this is the voted the best all-terrain tire by, well, the poll that I put together at least. So for the 37 of you who voted in this poll, I sure do appreciate it. So what I asked was, what is the best 90% on-road, 10% off-road truck tire for the Toyota Tundra 4x4, factor in looks, performance, how loud, etc. So today, we'll walk through those results. I'll show you an example of each one of those tires. And maybe at the end of today's video, we can talk a little bit about maybe narrowing down the field to like 2 or 3. And I'll push out another poll and we can narrow down the field on what you guys decide is the best all-terrain tire for this Tundra vehicle. If you have an opinion on this and you'd like to vote in maybe that next poll, and this poll right here is still up. So if you subscribe to the channel, you should be able to get those polls so you can make sure that you vote. Sorry about that, guys. A little tough time talking today. But also, if you have an opinion, you want to share a little bit more details, pull down into those comments, let us know. Maybe you have some experience with one of these tires. Some people are saying, hey, some wear out faster, some last longer, all those kinds of things. So share your experiences down below in the comments. But this is number one right here. So coming in with 46% of the voting, first place is the BFG KO2 all-terrain tire. It's your tire, it's your dad's tire, it's your grandpa's tire, but it's still a pretty awesome tire. And I personally like these myself. And I do understand it's been around a long time. But that makes it tried and true. And there's no doubt about it that it's a fantastic tire. Also, I think the sidewalls on those BFG KO2s are pretty nice. Hey, let's move on to number 2. Coming in with 27% of the votes is the Nitto Grappler. Now, that's what I wrote. I assumed that we would all know that that is the Nitto Ridge Grappler. However, maybe I should not have done that. So this right here is the Nitto Ridge Grappler. Of course, Nitto makes several tires. They do make a straight all-terrain, which is the Terra. But this is the Ridge Grappler, and that is an actual hybrid, mud and all-terrain mixed into one. So I apologize if that was a little bit confusing, but what I'll do is on the second poll, I'll put both those Nitto tires on there, the Ridge Grappler and the Terra, and you guys can vote for which one of those specifically. I think that the most popular one of those two is going to be the Nitto Ridge Grappler, but hey, that's why we vote. So let's move on. Coming in third place is the Toyo AT3 all-terrain tire, and here it is right here. So with 19% of the voting, and I can tell you this one right here had it jumped up and was running with the BFG KO2 with pretty close to the same amount of votes, and then all of a sudden the BFG KO2 kind of ran away with it. And if we're going to talk about that, we'll talk about the Nitto Ridge Grappler also kind of made a big jump towards the end of the voting. So make sure you're looking out for those polls as we move on. And coming in fourth place is the Falcon Wild Peak with 8%. So not quite as many votes on this one here. Now, there were a few other tires that a couple people put down in the comments below the poll, and I didn't see many thumbs up. So if you want to take the next poll that comes out, and if you see somebody else that puts a comment and maybe mentions a tire, you can always give it a thumbs up, and then I'll understand that you're voting for that tire as well. So these ones, in my opinion, the BFG KO2, the Toyo AT3, the Nitto Ridge Grappler, and maybe the Falcon 2 are what I would consider to be the most popular of these tires. Hey, maybe I'm missing one of these guys. So some of you are much more experts at this kind of stuff than I am. So put your comments down below. Let me know. And we're not really going for the most popular, but we are going for the best and the best all-terrain. And we're talking about this vehicle right here on this Tundra, and we're talking about kind of for me. So maybe you live in a place where you're mudding all the time. Maybe you're in the snow. Maybe you're doing those kinds of things. For me, look, I want a rugged, tough look. And I also want something that's going to work well when I am off-road for 10%. And you know what? It's probably like 5% of the time. And 90 to 95% of the time, I am shuffling around my kids and my family and doing fun stuff using this truck. But we're probably on the streets. We're probably on the highway. We're probably on the road. So I really need to make sure that we're keeping that in mind as well. So be on the lookout, and I'll push out another poll, and I'll put on both of the Nitto tires. I'll throw on the Toyo one more time, and we'll throw on, of course, that BFG one more time, and maybe do a final one. I'll try to see if I can be a little bit more clear in the poll and in that statement after we sort of decide on some tires for this truck. And of course, you know, I'm taking your input and mixing that in with my own personal thoughts. But, you know, I think that these votes maybe will sort of build this truck. And again, I don't know about 100%, but at least have some significant input. So I'm thinking after the tires, we'll take a look at the wheels and maybe put a few different wheels up and decide what would be the best fit for this truck. Now, I know I've talked some about turning this Platinum into a Pro. Now, let me be clear. I'm not talking about verbatim, right? Do I really care if it's the TRD Pro wheels? I don't know. I mean, if it's the best fit, I'm okay with it. But if there's a different way we can go, like maybe get some custom wheels or some non-Toyota products that are a better fit, like these methods right here that I think look pretty sweet. Now we can do things like play around with the offset, get a little bit more stance out of this truck, push out those tires. Now, I'm not gonna have them poking way out, but at the same time, I'd like to have the tires maybe flush with the side of the vehicle. And if we go with those TRD Pro wheels, I don't think we can do that unless we start putting on spacers. So things like the offset might help if we step away from those Pro wheels. But I'm saying look, I'm going to put together another poll. We'll do some voting. I think it'll be fun to do. And again, if you're more of an expert than me, and a lot of you are out there, it would be awesome if you could leave those comments down below and put in your knowledge. What is it that you really know about the tires, or maybe the suspension, or whatever? Maybe you've done a build similar to this. You have some tips and some tricks. And I'm assuming, look, if you're watching these videos, you've got a Tundra, you're probably thinking about doing some kind of a build yourself. I think this knowledge will not just be pretty awesome for myself, but hopefully for a whole sort of Tundra community here. All right, friends, and we'll end the video with this. So here's a suspension kit, and this is the TRD Pro actual suspension here. $5,000 for the kit. Holy cow. Now, I drove the Pro. I test drove the Pro. I test drove the Pro about 7 times. It's an awesome truck. I love the TRD Pros. And I'd love to get some suspension that's either the TRD Pros or something that's fairly comparable. Is there a way to cut that price in half and still get, I want a soft ride when I'm on the road. I know that's ridiculous, but I want a soft ride when I'm on the road. And of course I want something that performs well when I'm spending that 5% of my time out there having some fun in the mud, probably have all my kids with me, so we're not going that crazy here. But at the same time, you know, I want to push it a little bit. Let's get the 4-wheel drive going. Let's have some fun. Let's kick up some mud, kick up some dirt, maybe find a little jump when mom's not looking. So if you really know about suspension, hey, really think about joining this community here, subscribing to the channel. And on the, we'll do another poll and you guys can vote and we'll figure out suspension when we get there. But if there's an area that you're really knowledgeable about, and I've seen some of you guys already doing this, hey, put those comments down below. Don't forget, on these videos, you know, they're getting hundreds of views, on some of them thousands of views. So you're not just helping out me. I think there's a lot of us here that are going to call ourselves sort of amateurs in this building of these trucks. So if you have something that you can really contribute to this, please put it down in those comments below. Let us know what your knowledge is. Hey guys, we'll see you next time. See ya.